Hey guys, J-Man here for another comic book review. Today we're talking about Joe Fixit #1. Okay, so let's just get this out of the bag right now. I'm a big time fan of Hulk, especially Grey Hulk. Look, I loved Hulk as a kid. In my top 5 favorite Marvel comic book characters, I have a Grey Hulk tattoo. This arm is almost like a Peter David arm, just coincidentally. And I love Green Hulk. Obviously, I grew up with the TV series. I love the cartoons, all that stuff. But in terms of comics, I would get Green Hulk comics here and there. But when I really started to get serious about collecting Incredible Hulk, he ended up being gray. And I thought, oh, this sucks. He's gray. And it's like the second I started to like really get heavy into Hulk, I'm like, he's gray now. I'm like, this is not good. And then I was reading them, like, you know, these are really good. I read them so much that my comics were beat up to hell. I ended up giving them, my childhood ones, I ended up giving them to a friend of mine. His son liked Hulk, so I gave him my Hulk comics. And I've been trying to get those all back in good, nice condition. I'm not a big condition guy. I like reading the comics. I like having the comic in my hand and reading it. I don't care too much, like if the corner's bent or something. I didn't sit there looking at this like at the comic shop. I just grabbed one and that was it. Obviously, if it's bent or ripped or if there's like a fold or something, you know. So, but for these, I thought, you know, let me get better condition ones. So I've been kind of collecting those very slowly. So that got me interested in this. Peter David's back with Joe Fixit. So I thought, let's see what this is like. I'm going to review this using my SPACE method, which is story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 for bad, 2 for amazing. At the end, you get a score out of 10 when you add up all 5 categories. If a comic book scores high or low in a category, that doesn't mean I'm saying it's better or worse than something else. Let me explain that to you. I'm reviewing Joe Fixit as part of Hulk, as part of the old Grey Hulk stories that Peter David did. I'm not reviewing this versus Watchmen or something like that, right? Like this, I'm not saying, is this comic better than Giant Size X-Men? If I gave the artistry, let's say for the category of art, let's say I gave the art a 2 out of 2, a perfect score. That is not saying that the art in this book is better than Jack Kirby or Neil Adams or something, right? And look, it ain't better than friggin' Tom McFarlane. Tom McFarlane, Peter David, that was awesome. It ain't better than that. What I'm grading it is against itself, okay? All right. And again, if I give the story a perfect score, that doesn't mean it's better than the Peter David stuff from before, because it's probably not. However, I'm going to give the storyline a 1.5. You know what, man? I friggin' like this. So basically, Kingpin is on his way to Vegas. Well, you get a very quick... I'll talk about this in the pacing of the comic, but you get a quick introduction for new readers. Spider-Man kind of gives you a couple pages. It's to give you, Spider-Man's in this. It gives you a couple pages of talking about, you know, Mr. Fixit and all that, Joe Fixit. Okay, then we get into the story. It's only a couple pages. Then we get to the story where Kingpin is on his way to Vegas, and he's looking to take over the club or whatever, right? And then Joe Fixit comes out. Now, he doesn't know it's Hulk, right? Which is actually really fun. And I know some people might be upset at the Kingpin here because, look, Kingpin can't really fight the Hulk, right? Like, let's face the fact. I know Grey Hulk was a little bit weaker, but, like, no way, right? So Kingpin comes in trying to throw his weight around. It's like, yeah, I'm going to take this place over. And the guy's like, yeah, screw you. And then friggin' Hulk comes in and, like, Hulk just obliterates Kingpin. And that's your entire story. So it is simple, but it is an introduction. So we're going to see where it goes. But it's an exciting introduction. I like stories that lead to action. Incredible Hulk in any color is an action-oriented character. X-Men are action-oriented characters. Batman is a detective. Batman can be a detective and action. He's a very unique character. This is why he's very popular, and he is my second favorite comic book character of all time. Superman is #1, of course. But Batman can be a detective. So you could have a mystery Batman story. You could have an action vigilante kind of a story. Hulk needs to lead to action. So I hate when current series, look, I like some of the Hulk stuff, but when they get really cerebral and they're getting into this weird, oh, let's get into the depths of Hulk and all that. Yeah, or just have him fight guys. Like, I don't know. Like Hulk is an action character. I never really got too much into the psyche of Hulk. The Grey Hulk was unique because you did get some stuff where it was a little bit more than just fighting, because there was a lot of like interplay between him and Banner, and like because he was kind of smart and had his own personality and wanted to do things. That was Peter David's genius in doing, you know, meshing this kind of thing with Hulk. It's like, you never expected to see Hulk, you know, in this kind of way before, but you still fought guys, right? Like Hulk needs to fight people. So this was actually really good. I didn't give it a full 2 out of 2 because, I mean, Hulk stories are really probably not going to get a 2 out of 2 unless they're like really good. There's a few Peter David Hulk issues of Grey Hulk which are like really damn good, but this one's pretty damn good for me. And it's a Marvel title, and new Marvel titles always suck. So this one's pretty good. I liked it. It's simple, and people are going to complain because I gave Iron Man a poor score, and they're going to complain and say, oh, nothing happened in this comic. Right, but I like that it leads to action. Kingpin's like, I want to take over. It's like, that's not happening. Here comes Joe Fixit. They have a fight. That's it. Pacing, I'm going to give the pacing a 1.5 as well. Okay. I'm not giving it a full 2 because, I mean, I would almost give it a 2. I feel that maybe they could have tightened it up a little bit. 1.5 is great. If a comic book gets 5 out of 10, that means good. 5 out of 10 means it's a good comic. 5 or 6 means it's good. 7 or 8 means, wow, it's a great comic. 9 or 10 means, oh, hell yeah, I got to collect this sucker. This is amazing, right? So I'm going to give it a 1.5 for pacing. I do feel that maybe they could have tightened it up a little bit, maybe had a little bit more pages of action, like cut out 1 or 2 pages and add 1 or 2 to the fight just to give Kingpin a little bit more of a fighting chance or something. But overall, yeah, 1.5, that's very high. That's very good. It's tough to get 2 out of 2 on pacing unless you have like continuous, like awesome panels and action. The artistry, well, I don't like this cover at all, to be honest with you. I think this is going to lose a bit on artistry, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I guess that's kind of interesting. The art itself is okay. It doesn't look too bad. You got like, I just feel that something like this is a splash page. Okay, that's interesting, but it's just them walking. It is very panel-y. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. And I'm not even really sure that I like the way, I mean, I like the way Spider-Man looks. And I usually don't do names. I know Peter David's a big name. I don't even know who the artist is. I didn't even look. But it's okay art. I'm going to say it's like passable, I guess. I just wish, you know, and again, it's tough to compare it to the Todd McFarlane stuff. It's okay. So I guess I'll give it, a 1. I'll give it a 1. So it's kind of a pass. It's a bit of a pass. So what are we at here? We're at 1.5, so that's 3, 4. We're at 4 out of 5. So that's artistry. For characters, I'm going to give it a 1, I think, for characters as well. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1. The thing is that I really like Joe Fixit, and I do like Kingpin, but nothing really interesting happened with the characters. The guy, I don't even remember the name of the guy that Joe Fixit works for, because he's just like such a nothing character to me. I feel that, like, you know, like Hulk and Kingpin in here were cool, but they didn't do enough in this comic for me to be like, oh yeah, shit, that was wicked. You know, I love what Hulk did there. I do like that Grey Hulk, or Joe made him say, I give up or whatever, or it's over. And then he made him say it in French, which I thought was kind of funny. I'm Canadian, so yay. But that was all right. But still, I'm going to give it a 1. So what are we at here? We're at a 1.5, so that's a 3. We're at a 4. We're at a 5. I'm going to give the enjoyment a 1. I like this comic. So we're at a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Joe Fixit. I'm very close to throwing out a 7. I did like this, but I wasn't like 1 out of 2 still means I liked it. I did like it, but it wasn't like, holy goddamn crap, I must own every issue of this. I am going to continue buying this because it's Grey Hulk. So a portion of me rebuying it is that it's Peter David and Grey Hulk. And then the other flip side is that I did think it was pretty good. So I do want to see where it goes. Kingpin's very pissed off at the end of this. So we're going to see what the retribution is going to be. And something's going to happen, obviously. But at least it's a call to action. Story is important because it needs to be a call to action. There needs to be something to look forward to in terms of a battle or some sort of conflict. It can't just be, oh, I'm thinking about Banner and whatever. You have that, of course, because you still want to have some sort of substance to the book, but it also needs to be action. So pretty good. 6 out of 10, that's pretty good. I'm close to a 7. It might be a 7. By the time I read issue 2, I might go back, read this one, say, yeah, I kind of like this one a little bit more. But yeah, very solid effort. I'm very excited to see where Joe Fixit goes. So yeah, we're going to see what happens there. that is it, guys. All right, let me know what your thoughts are if you read this, and what would you give it out of a score of 10? And yeah, if let me know what you thought of the story and all that stuff too. Okay, guys, until next time.